Welcome to another Monday. There were new releases aplenty this weekend, so I had a bit of a choice to make. As interested as I was in seeing blockers, I had no idea how I was going to class it up enough to be able to review it here. Normally, I also stay away from horror, but this weekend we had a horror film that was a little different. Plus, when a horror movie has some big names in it, the appeal is upped. And Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are big enough names to pique my interest. So without any further ado, here's my take on A Quiet Place. Our film begins in the year 2020. The human population has been decimated, but we're not quite sure by what. We soon see that there are creatures that are attracted by sound. We are introduced to the Abbotts, Evelyn and Lee, played by Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, respectively. They and their children are survivors of the scourge, living on the family farm, and their lives revolve around silence. All walking is done barefoot on sand, and sign language is the only method of communication. We are shown that there are other pockets of survivors, but this family has set everything up for their sole survival. It doesn't take long to see the destructiveness of the creatures, although we never quite see them in action. Evelyn is pregnant, and although you would think bringing a silent baby into the world would be impossible, they have made all preparations. As the movie progresses, as horror movies tend to do, there is a day of reckoning. That one day where everything goes wrong and this family is brought into a final face-to-face confrontation with these monsters. The suspense, action, and intensity skyrocket as the family has to use all their preparation and cunning to survive the onslaught coming for them. We as the audience want to look away, but don't dare, because like it or not, we are sucked in, and at this point, even blinking may not be an option. So, what to say about this one? Well, to be honest, there's a lot to say, which is funny since the point of the film is you can't say anything. Hats off to John Krasinski, who both had a hand in writing and directed this film. When I hear his name, I associate it with comedy, but he did a great job with the horror genre. Both he and his real-life wife, Emily Blunt, nail these roles. The acting all around is superb, and you know that because there is very little dialogue in the entire film, but you always know what is going on. You can see the conversations happening on the actors' faces and understand what it's about, even before the sign language subtitles pop up. Even the child actors convey their emotions so well just through their faces. And yes, like I said, this is almost a silent film as far as dialogue is concerned, so the fact that it is so suspenseful is just amazing. You find yourself jumping out of your seat at just normal everyday sounds that you would never bat an eyelash at, but when it happens after a prolonged silence, it just gets you. I was in a packed theater and we were enveloped in this movie and following its rules. Everyone in there was trying to be quiet. We all had white knuckles on the armrests, but no one dared scream at any of the parts lest the creatures spring into the theater. Honestly, it was a really fun experience. The film manages to be pure horror without not only words, but a lack of gore as well. It's a really well done film that will make you feel the entire emotional spectrum, but mostly it just makes it fun to be scared. I highly recommend it. I mean, it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes for a reason, and like I said, I think it's a fun experience to have in a huge dark theater full of strangers. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.